Hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? Had a nice day? Yeah. 12 examples of stupid logic that made too many people agree with. That, what? Stupid logic that way too many people agree with. Okay. Okay. One, the spectrum of smartness. Here's a popular misconception. I'm book dumb, therefore I'm street smart. The term book smart refers to academic intelligence, excelling in school, and possessing strong memorization and conceptualization skills. In contrast, street smart is seen as a practical application of life skills and the ability to navigate real-world situations effectively. They argue that smartness exists on a spectrum, and smart people who progress or regress in life fit in somewhere between. Uh, Street smart and book smart, they're essentially the same thing, pretty much. You just strong memorization and conceptualization skills. It's just that whatever interests you or whatever it's easier for you to remember, because for street smart people, they have to remember where they're going. They have to remember and analyze and conceptualize all the situations they've seen and apply that to other situations that they're going to be seeing or experiencing in the future. It's just that those street smart people, when it comes to books, like books just don't interest them. It's not as dynamic as seeing real world situations. It's just a different way your mind uh, accepts information. But it's the same process, pretty much. Let's see this. I don't know why that's dumb, but whatever. Pitfalls of pretty words. Someone raises concerns about the prevailing belief that pretty words win arguments. They expressed discomfort with a friend group that relied on this tactic, leading to confusing and manipulative behavior. Pretty words are just lies. It's frustrating to witness such behavior. They describe it as a game where both parties engage in finger pointing and seek validation from the surrounding audience. Yeah, people do that. The commenter expresses their exasperation at seeing people act foolishly only to be praised as if they achieved something significant. I don't know what to tell you, man. People do that. All right. Wisdom knows no age. If you're older, you're smarter. That's not true. This is an argument we listen to daily. I've never heard it. However, a user challenges its validity. Words. They argue that they have met older, less intelligent individuals than infants. Yeah, obviously. If they were dumb as a kid, they're probably still dumb as an adult, just experience more things. While acknowledging that life experiences can contribute to earning wisdom, but the wisdom is only pertains to the specific situations that they are experienced. And if a similar experience in the future, they can probably compare it and make a leap of logic, but they're not wise in all areas just because, they're older. They emphasize that age alone does not confer superior intelligence, and everyone gathers wisdom as they age. True. Frustration in miscommunication. What this title and these things don't make any sense. They don't fit. Frustration and miscommunication. There's a misconception between being heard and understood and agreeing. Yes, I remember having that same argument with someone. They were telling me something, and I was just like, "You're completely wrong." And he was like, "I'm agreeing with you." It's like, "No, but you're saying something completely different from what I'm saying." But he's like, "I'm agreeing with you." That's not how that works. That's not agreeing. That's not how agreeing works. Someone recounts a frustrating argument they had with someone who failed to differentiate between understanding an argument and agreeing with it. When the commenter tries to explain to another person, understanding someone's position does not necessarily imply agreement. Yes, they refuse to accept that there was a difference. Yeah. Yeah. People do that. People do that a lot. They're like, I understand where you're coming from. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Especially when they're trying to calm somebody down. It's like, I understand where you're coming from. It's like, no, you don't. You get that the person is mad, but you don't understand where they're coming from. What is this about? Karma versus just world fallacy. Many people challenge the belief in the existence of karma, highlighting the fallacy known as the just world fallacy. Religious and spiritual people with a strong faith in their gods often exhibit a more optimistic perspective. This faith empowers them to have confidence in their actions, believing their deeds are guided by their worshiping gods. Yeah. If it inspires them to have confidence, good thing. Many people may avoid wrong deeds for fear of divine punishment or great afterlife. Ultimately, they conclude that hope is important in giving people the necessary strength in today's society. Yeah, I don't really believe in karma. That seems silly. And how would you even prove that it exists without even being able to measure it or somehow reproduce the conditions necessary to gain karma? But this and this title doesn't fit. All right. Personal experience versus research. I've experienced it, so it must be true. It's common for people to prioritize their personal experiences over peer-reviewed research, statistics, and studies. Yes, absolutely, because they know their personal experience. They don't really know the people doing the research, or they just heard the research after the fact, after sharing their opinion. Then you're like, oh, well, the research disagrees with you. And the person is like, well, I already had this opinion, and I'm not just going to change it just because you said some stuff. The commentary provides examples of people who defend their soda consumption by saying their exercise routine and healthy eating habit can be balanced. However, studies can and do indicate otherwise, contradicting one's beliefs. The problem with poor diet and stuff like that, it usually takes time for them to see the consequences of their action, and time is years. Like recently, I read a story where this woman, she was like vegan or something, and she only ate fruits, and it took her 7 years to starve to death. It takes time. Some jaded people question the widely romanticized notion of happily ever after. They express skepticism about the belief that when two people are married, their future years will effortlessly be successful without requiring hard work. Yeah, obviously that's not true. That was from like Disney fantasies. Like, what are you talking about? Why are you even making an argument for this? Finding reason in randomness. Karma, randomness. Everything happens for a reason. No. Well, technically, everything does happen for a reason, but the reason is not necessarily that it's supposed to happen. It's just cause and effect. Doesn't make sense to some people. While acknowledging that there may be certain situations where it holds some validity, situations where it's a direct intervention of other people, yeah. In reality, many things happen without any justifiable reason, whether good or bad. Justifiable? Reality doesn't have to justify itself. Shit just happens because cause and effect. A straightforward explanation is that some things happen. We must face those things. Sometimes we need to encourage to turn negative. That's not an explanation at all. A straightforward explanation is that some things happen. That's just saying, I don't understand it, so fuck it. It's not an explanation. Mind-reading myths. A married person raises their voice against the statement, my partner should be able to read my mind. I don't need to communicate well. Yeah? Yeah. It sounds like you're dealing with a person that doesn't want to take responsibility for their own shit, or just don't want to do anything don't want to be the one to do anything, but also want those things to happen. So you're dealing with an adult with the child of a mind, with a mind of a child. Child of a mind. Another person expresses frustration with this mindset, stating that their ex-partner would say, "You should just know." Sounds like you're dealing with a woman. 10, breaking the cycle of physical punishment. Physical punishment is very effective. A flawed belief is that subjecting children to physical punishment, yelling, and public humiliation will make them successful adults. Make them better at dealing with physical punishment. No, no, it wouldn't make them necessarily make them successful adults, but it's faster than trying to talk them into doing something. Either manipulate their mind or manipulate their fear. Many people disagree with this approach, emphasizing that inflicting pain and violence on children is not helping their healthy emotional development and promoting good behavior. Really? I mean, the kind of physical punishment that people use on children is in no way egregious violence. Like, seriously, it's the tamest sort of thing. It's hard enough to cause pain, but not enough to like freaking, you know what I mean, debilitate them. It's really not that serious. I know a lot of people like to look back, but when they look back at the fact that, oh, we used to hit children, they look back at the abuse, like the people that were like really going overboard. But really, most disciplinary acts of physical punishment for children will just like a slap or a spanking or something innocuous that's not really that serious. Like, relax. Preference without hatred. People commonly assume if you're not for something, you're against it. Yep, I've had that a lot. I've had that many times. People were like, every time someone was like, oh, you know, something about kids, and I'm just like, oh, I don't like children. And we're like, oh, damn, why do you feel that way? It's like, I didn't say I hate children. I just don't like them. As in, I don't like them the way I see other people like children. People like obsessed with kids, to the point where they're like, oh, they're so cute. Everything this kid does is cute. Oh, look how beautiful my daughter is. And they're just like looking at the kid, and it's just like, it just looks like a normal kid to me, just a kid-sized, small adult, regular shit. Like, I don't have that sort of romanticized idea of children that people seem to have. So, like, a wise individual expressed frustration with the Smith, sharing a personal example of their preference for Xbox over PlayStation. They explained that their choice does not equate to hatred for PlayStation. Instead, they would enjoy both consoles if they could buy both. Yeah, just chose one over the other. It's probably more games on Xbox, maybe. Customer is not always right. Of course. Anybody that's worked customer service knows that the shittiest people make problems for other people, and they usually go to people in the service industry. Customers are not always right. Everyone must follow, blah, 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 blah. We already know. I think that's it. Yeah, that is the end of that. And it is no way as advertised. I completely confused about what I was supposed to be reading about. In fact, let me look at the title one more time. 12 examples of stupid logic that way too many people agree with. Nope. No. No. Until next time.